热情吧。哦，你对食物有热情，你对工作还是有热情嘛？哈，你因为喜爱就会产生热情。那我比较好奇。
Pierre Chen is a very special person. He's someone who loves masterpieces, whether those masterpieces are wine or whether it's masterpieces in terms of art.
He studies and compares and listens, and he really wants to understand every bit about what he's drinking or what he's eating. What I find incredible that his interest in so many fields are so deep.
For us, it's an enormous honor to work with him, to present him, and you can see his enjoyment, enthusiasm, love of wine in this collection. It is the best of the best.
Pierre Chen is a very well-known businessman in Asia. Many people associate him with his great collection of art, or a connoisseur of wine and food, and a lover of architecture and music. Pierre is really a person with a passion for living. We've traveled now together in Japan, in Paris, in south of France, to New York and different places for our journey to discover great art and architecture. He loves beautiful things and simple things.
Pierre has a voracious appetite for all the finest things in life. That includes obviously food, art and wine. And you can clearly see his passion and his enthusiasm for it. He's very focused on the greatest quality, the highest level, the best producers and the best vintages.
He's been interested with wine on wines at every stage of their lives. He's also been passionate about provenance, where they come from, how they've been kept. He has an eye for the best. I mean, that is undeniable. And this sale represents the best.
我想这是个态度吧，这没有对错的，也没有什么哪一个画比较好，哪一个画比较差的，纯粹就是一种态度吧。说我刚提到要有热情，那其他就是一种比较随性的缘分吧。
I cannot actually begin to count how many great bottles of wines I've had with Pierre over the last 25 years. And for him, wine is one of the perfect companion to his foods. And so it's not unusual for him to pair 2 wines to every dish. So we end up having maybe 10 to 12 wines at dinner. For him, it's all part of it, and his sharing with his friends is just part of life for him.
He has total respect for fine food, which actually means the ingredient side of the matter, because that's what delivers your taste profile.
I was at one very memorable dinner at his home where we had a number of great bottles of wine very carefully paired with each dish. So this is a fun, enjoyable, extravagant affair, but always done with minimal pretension. The quality of the producer, the vintage, the provenance, the condition, it's all super important to him.
Pierre's collection of wine is vast. He collects them in depth as well as breadth, but he also finds new discoveries all the time.
If you look through the sale, you can literally see all the best producers, the greatest producers represented in the greatest vintages. So it really is a hit list of what's the best quality.
Feasts mean a lot to Pierre Chen, and usually champagne is somewhere involved, particularly in the beginning of a meal. And here you have some of the most complex, fascinating champagnes that have ever been made. I mean, you've got Dom Pérignon in all its facets, including with the pink or the rosé one, the P3s, the Inotex. Then you have 19 vintages of the great Salon, and you can get those in one lot.
There's no shortage of great Bordeaux.
There's some really mind-blowing things. The 1945s, which is a very famous landmark vintage. You have the 61s, which is another small vintage and a remarkable vintage. Then you have slightly more modern wines like, for instance, the great 1989 Chateau Haut-Briand.
You have a double magnum of the great Cheval Blanc 47, and probably the greatest wine I've ever had the pleasure of enjoying. It's just on the verge of being almost port-like, but very, very seductive, and just such a fine complexity and a memory that lasts forever. Pierre loves large format bottles because he enjoys hosting large parties and having fun and sharing his wines with friends. So in this sale, there are 235 magnums, and there are 30 larger bottles, which are Methuselahs or Jeroboams, of rare wines and rare vintages.
Perhaps Burgundy is the Achilles, the real Achilles heel of Pierre Chen, because it is an extraordinary range of wines that have been acquired over a period of time. The Domaine de la Romanée-Conti wines are breathtaking. The large formats, both of Romanée-Conti itself and La Tâche, other great producers who are in there, like Jaillet and Dujac and Rousseau.
Pierre teamed up with Favely to acquire a small parcel of the Great Musigny vineyard. He receives his allocation in magnums, and so he is the only one in the world who has magnums. And we're lucky enough to have 3 of the first 3 vintages in the sale.
不然就会不要为了收藏而收藏，而是因为你喜欢，那你喜欢，其实比较好的态度是你喜欢拥有它，跟你一起生活嘛，用一种生活的态度去欣赏它吧，所以这是一个生活的一部分呢。
Pierre Chen's collection is clearly one of the greatest in the world. This is a small sampling from it, and here's a wonderful opportunity to get the chance to purchase and enjoy the great wines that he also loves.
Wines of this stature and this rarity, at the end of an evening, say, drinking them, you're going to say, I will never forget that.